Lost measure. Take you for a wild ride real quick. Oh, holy shit. Pull the whole machine right on it. Yeah. Perfect. Bear with me, YouTube, if anyone's watching. One of them days, not really in the cotton mood today. Long story. But, I was hoping going live might help. Give me a little more motivation to want to keep cutting. I don't know. Seems to be doing the opposite. Struggling. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure none of the people watching the stream work for 6 weeks and get a check for 2 either. So I gotta get paid for what you caught. That ain't even been happening, so. If anyone wants a good sub harvester, I'd probably go. Holy fuck, there's 100 and some people watching? My goodness. Goddamn. I expect to see like 5. Try and keep the camera on where I'm working off from after that big log truck. One thing, this machine, I want you guys to keep in mind, it's very big. This is a bear, it's huge. It makes these big trees look really small. I had this head up to the bed of my pickup truck yesterday, and like that saw box is like the width of the bed of my full-size pickup truck. Okay, so like, just to give you some context. Gotta get my left nut to be back in the Goodman timber with this thing. Stuff I was piece cutting way back on my channel. That was the biggest timber I'll see in my career. Man, with this thing just dominated. Just dominated. And I never would have believed a machine could handle timber that size. So I'm gonna put this log tree over here, so I want to open up some of these sprouts so I don't make a big ass mess like these guys. Little effort goes a long ways. Sprout tree up over here. Sorry, and you couldn't see that. Consolidate these three little trees here. So backing out with 3 different times. Now if I can get them in my head. Middle of this site is nothing but rocks, so I gotta be real careful coming up here. I shouldn't say middle of the site. Middle of the strip is nothing but rocks. I gotta be real careful coming up. How quick I come down with the head, because it is guaranteed you're gonna land on snow. I'm just going to use my other 10 footers. Boom. Line up a log. Don't waste your time going back finding a buck. You'd never roll that one right either. Don't always get that lucky where I just plop it down right at the perfect mark, but you get some luck, you take it. One more of this, and we'll call it good. What's going on here? So if anyone's gotten some place where they just need like the logs cut out of shit, and you're like, yeah. That's all our market is. I'll come down there and I'll smoke some fucking logs out. You want to just cut logs? So, shit, you've seen how long that took to cut the first 3 logs out. It was no time. Everything else will take some time. Here's the next big log tree coming up. Hard to see, it's true. The tree's got a pretty big root flare going on. I apologize, that muffle is right in the way. Find an ounce of prep work on what I'm about to be working on. Like here, I'm cleaning up the brush where I want my trail to go, so I can just move as soon as this tree's done. It goes a long way. And my next target's gonna be that yellow birch right there. Myself in here, this thing's like moving around a battleship. It's pretty long. I don't know how you Rodney boys get around with those big ass machines. Let me do something here. There. The guy said this is just like farming simulator. Yeah, this is real life. Whoever said resume cover letter. I work in the industry. This is word of mouth. I show up with the machine. I get the wood. I'm up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Resume. I haven't filled out a resume ever. Cover letter, no. 34 years old. I own the business. My shit. Oh, this tree's going right on me. Oh, yeah. Whoever said don't underestimate machines, I think you underestimate the timber out there. That it was, these hard maples are one of the heaviest you can get. It doesn't seem like it, but shit's old. Goes slow. Let's see. There we go. It's a big tree. I'm gonna flip-flop you once more. Just because, like Beyonce said, I like going to the left. No. Up here in Michigan, it sounds like some scammer shit. I'm gonna tell you my credentials and you're gonna help me build a resume. Yeah, thanks. I know. You're gonna help me get farther ahead. Just give you my credit card info too. It's a joke. Oh, I started logging straight out of high school. I got in trouble straight out of high school. And then paid money back. I started working for my dad's logging company. Spent 8 years with him. He was didn't want to grow, and I was at the point where I needed to grow, and I wasn't making more, so I left. Best choice I ever made. That was like 5 or 6 years ago. Longer than that. It was 2018 I left. 6 years ago now. I still would have just been carrying a chainsaw. Scraping by. My third harvester now. I have a 4-wooder I got. It's an older Wizen. Gets the job done. It's paid for, but carried a chainsaw for 12 years. Full time to make money, save money, work weekends. I knew what I wanted. Early I worked 7 days a week. Saturday and Sunday, I worked at a local grocery store, and then Monday through Friday, I spent out in the woods peace cutting. I liked it. Got to see people. As weird as this sounds, I was like, I was pretty desocialized, so I didn't see many people. I was out in the bush. It made me really uncomfortable around that many people just in a grocery store on the weekends. I'm glad I did it. next one. The yellow birch. Now, see, I messed up. I put the logs for that tree. That is a maple one. Yeah, it's. I can tell in the light. Put the logs for that tree where I want it to drive. Fucking amateur mistake right there. I'm willing to travel in the U.S. too. If you got logs, I'll travel. Michigan, no, I went and looked at some work in Montana. Might do that next summer. Still kind of up in the air on it. This is a bear. Like I said, this is the most capable fucking harvester you can get. Throw a winch on it. I can hang out the mountain. Right, be there. Turn a little live stream and fucking job, man. Take a move. I guess I'll repeat it for most people if you're just tuning in. I cut a corporate timber up here in Michigan, not the one owned by Singapore, not those guys. It's another block of corporate timber. They're supposedly all American investors. Who knows? I don't really care. But big job sites, lots of wood to cut, but anything like that sounds too good to be true, there's always a catch. Your rates are lower and da 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 da. Gotta cut a lot of volume. Versus like companies like my dad and uncle, they work in the private market and only cut private timber sales. That's pretty much all. Open market, they call it at the mills. Versus these corporates have guaranteed delivery contracts. And it seems like when everyone else is slowed down or shut off, we always can keep cutting, which is nice. Again, cut a lot of wood. To be totally honest here, it took me solid year and something to get proficient at hardwood with the harvester. It is very difficult. Very difficult. Anyone can be a superhero in needles. You can put up, you won't believe the numbers I can put up with fucking needles. And see Europeans out there showing off fucking, hey, cutting perfect straight trees, man. Our best plantations are nothing like yours. They're bad. They're not good compared to everywhere else. Our pines on like a 45-year rotation. Of course, it got pinched in this cunt. Our aspens on even shorter. Like, it's not good timber. Hardwood's not good. Everything other than that. best solution I've found for getting these out. You get up on it and try and drive on the crotch. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. For real, what is he doing? Fucking kids, There we go, baby. Now, if I was a stupid man, and I've done this before, I'd try and make that cut again. Just have to make it again. Get pinched the same way again. Not gonna happen this time. Boom. Yeah, that's what makes it fucking hardly difficult. Shit like that. There would have been a bent bar if I didn't either stop, cut, get my chainsaw back in the truck, or cut it out, or those are little things you don't learn right away. I got lucky. I got after the first crew I was with didn't work out. When I first got a machine, I got scooped up by these guys, and it's a good crew. They all know what they're doing. They're professionals. Forwarder's fucking phenomenal out here. He keeps up to 2 harvesters and a piece cutter. The other harvester operator has about 25 years of experience in a machine, and I've picked his brain and tried to learn as much as I can off of him, and it's definitely helped. Strips like the one I'm on now are my favorite. It takes me about till noon is my average time. It's about half the day to run down to the end of the strip. And the whole time I'm working that way, it's towards the west, so the sun's at my back. And then when I turn around for the afternoon to come back, I can make it back to the road by the time it's, and that's the end of my shift then, and not like I'm on a clock, but that's when I go home, and it's set up just perfect. These are my favorite. It's a 40 to the back, quarter mile, 40 the way out. Quarter mile on the way out. Pretty nice. Suppose it could be nice to rod and pull this big branch on. Target. I like that these trees are marked. It took a while to get used to, but I'd rather not dance around a Forester's Fantasyland ideas. Sorry, just had to hook up my cable. And nothing's more frustrating when a Forester, let's face it, they only got their degree invested, and that's just to get the job. They're still getting a salary no matter what. It's marking all sorts of unmerciable timber that I'm expected to volunteer my time for and cut down. Like, that is like my number one thing. Yeah, cut down these unmerchantable trees I have marked because, it's my Fantasyland forest. No. I know that we have to, but I'd rather pull them on my own accords than I do. It's because I like it to look a certain way. I need some city boy with shiny teeth, college degree. Tell me how I gotta spend my time. Yeah, you guys play Farming Simulator there. Yeah, it is just like it, except it's real life, and the consequences are pretty real. Like that tree right there. If I make a mistake and let's say it ends up on the cab, that's a big deal. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage minimum. Crack a window, dent the cab, break hoses. Every bar is it's about $100 a bar for these, and then your chains are about $32 a chain. So every time you hit the dirt, every time you bend a bar, which is if it doesn't come off the stump perfectly, or you make a mistake, there's so much human input involved in felling timber with a dangle head. It's really tough to simulate on a computer. You have to, there's so much finesse. Just picking up at the right angle at the right time as you're making your back cut to maybe hold it up one direction that's leaning heavier too, but you don't want to go that way. But if you didn't do it, it'd pinch your bar. But and then if your bar gets stuck in a falling tree there at the stump, then your bar is bent. Hop out, change your bar. It is leg in the way, but you don't just grab onto a tree, fall it, and then run it through and everything's perfect every time. That is by far not even close. Keep this tree from coming on me. The last thing I want to do is leave any fiber. I want to make sure I'm in control of this fall and it goes right where I want it to go. You leave fiber on the stump, it's going to hold and pull that direction, causing your issues. There, see it slide. That's how you know you're all the way cut off. So like this doesn't do it justice for how heavy these trees are. Probably could have butted that one more, but with how black stained that log is, veneered buyers really don't like that, so it's probably going to make a #1 saw log either way. No point in throwing wood down on the ground for nothing. How you cut something is all about who you're cutting it for, how it wants it cut. Lyman's done enough studies now that that first 10-footer is worth more than the rest of the tree. Chuck it in here. So 2 10s out, you move on. The best way to look at a dangle head is a super high power chainsaw on a stick. So if you can get that chainsaw in there, well, you got it on a really long stick, and it's really powerful. So you can wheel that. You just just about whatever the fuck you want. Really powerful chainsaw and a really powerful stick. Another one gone, another one gone, another one bites dust. I'm gonna kill you too. Actually, harvest is the more acceptable term. Harvest you too. Who said we're all forced in this life to live, forced to die. Thanks, and SS stays 5. What the fuck are you people on? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we are. We were lucky enough to live and enjoy life. I don't know, I get sick of people in my generation bitching about how things are unattainable. Alright, I'm 34. I got in trouble out of high school. Some misdemeanors, nothing too serious. But like, I fucked around. And I've still by working my ass off, I've still gotten to where I want to be, and I'm way ahead of most of my peers. So, like, I don't understand what the excuse is. Like, my wife and I almost own our fucking home. Like, the system ain't rigged. You're just fucking lazy. You'd love the rants. Me and my best friend will give me a call a couple times a week and we'll sit and bullshit. That one of those calls I should stream live, but I don't know, people would probably definitely tune on my channel. I've always looked at like a 40-hour work week, like you're just getting fucking warmed up. Like you said, you only can work for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Surefire way to the average. Keep all lights. Next target. Holy shit, Rod's getting closer. Rod is getting closer. Rod's the forwarder. Rod skids an absolutely unbelievable amount of wood. One single forwarder. It's just me out here for harvesters now. The second harvester's on a different side. Large and red pine fin. I'd rather do this. Actually, they have both their company harvesters out there. They have a Komatsu 931 and a Scorpion Giant. Both new machines. Both good operators. They like their visibility in the cab versus power. I like the power. Didn't show up double-hearted there. That's a win. It's easier if I isolate the limb after the piece is cut to length instead of trying to battle the whole stem. I'm going to isolate this limb, this one I'm going to drive on. Voila! Our pulpwood spec is it's like a 2-foot window, head 63 inches tall to the top knife, so it's supposed to be 100 inches. I give it about 2.5 feet. I should give it more than that. I say that out loud. I'm thinking about 63 inches. I mean 37 inches. I didn't sound right. 3 feet off the top of the head. Yeah, that's close. Well, I don't whine about my pieces being long, so you don't find many cutouts on my pile. And it can be down, it's like 6'6". Try not to cut them that sharp, but it falls up close. I like to get them on a cutting board, I call it, in my mind, which is just another piece of wood. I won't use the log pile. I'll only use the pole pile. That way if my saw goes past or anything happens, it doesn't hit the dirt or a rock and I dull my chain. So it's, it's like backing on your cut. Oh, actually, I don't think you can see it, but way down there, I still see logs on the ground. Rod's farther behind than I thought. Take that, you son of a bitch. The bigger lead I got on Rod, the more money I make. If Rod can't keep up to you, you're making fucking money. This is a production tape, so. Tell you what, I'm gonna jump rows and get that one right there. That's a really nice log. Sorry for the language, but I caught it. Find something else to watch if you got a problem. I get a kick out of when people who cuss in front of my daughter who don't know me very well. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry I swear in front of your kid. Like, you think that's the worst thing she's heard? I know, I probably sound super trashy. Never went to college, but my wife's got a master's degree. Ponsse. I just don't think there's any sense in holding our kids back from the real world and pretending it doesn't exist and everything's rainbows and butterflies. Hard expanded on this, if you see, and that's why they have us in here. They say the peak diameter on this stand in particular with this soil, they're pretty good at this, 16 inches. That's diameter, breast height. If the hearts on them start to expand too much, and I can see it. I've seen it on all these bigger sized trees that they're definitely bigger hearts and their value is decreasing as the heart size increases. Bam! Like DJ Khaled said, another one. Some shit like that. Alright, nice target right there. Call my shots. God damn, this thing is a pig getting around. It's my, like, if I had to work in tighter forest, I don't know if I'd like this machine as much. Because it is a pig to get around. It doesn't turn, it's like a four-wheeler. When you're in a harvester, you want to turn like a harvester, not a four-wheeler, so you can lay it out for the four-wheeler. God, I have a hard time not cutting that tree. That one's nice. Not bad. It's probably right on the money at 16 inches. But watch the bottom of the thing, maybe. Second, sure. This here is my auto grease system. This here is telling me I'm out of grease right now, and it just ran out this morning, and this little annoying light's on now. I should be just fine until tomorrow morning, but I had zoomed in the whole time. There you go. That auto grease system's pretty slick. It keeps all the boom from the boom tip back. Keeps it greased. Well, not the boom tip. Your whole crane, your center section, steering cylinders, the whole shebang should keep it greased. And all you gotta do is worry about the head and keeping it full. Bogies, all the other parts that don't auto greaser, but there's a lot of too many pains. Spike, if I leave that, I know I'm going to end up stabbing a hose on it. So I like to get it shit like that. There, I should just cut this off. This tree's going that way. brought everything over this side of the trails. What am I gonna make here? These. It just pulled that limb off. Pulled, brush off the files, then another one done. Once I run this shit over, it looks good. In fact, the top's only the width of the trail. That means there ain't much wood left in that top. Not worth the time in this machine to pick it out. Just seen my buddy the hawk around here. I know it sounds bad, there's a hawk. His nest isn't around here, but he follows me around lately. And he's looking for the mice that have been knocking out of the tree. He was around me last week. I just seen him fly by. Trust me, I'm not getting paid to kill animals. I made a video about it before where I leave trees if it's got a porcupine in it, because I'm not that good person. I think it's pretty neat. He follows me around. He was around too close the other day. I caught him by surprise. He didn't take off quite quick enough. I seen him soaring away underneath. He made it. He's still around, but he's learned not to hang out so close now. He was just right over my shoulder. When we first started this site, way at the start, I'm probably guessing it's the same hawk was waiting in front of me on the trail for me to knock the mice out of these dead trees. Like, he knows which ones have mice houses in them. And when you cut them down, they seem to start running out. Said, fuck it already. Threw my chain. Well, that may end the stream here, folks, today. We gotta get out and grease anyway, so. I don't know, site has service, so maybe I'll keep doing more of these. But you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.